Hi, I'm Mike. Welcome to 100 Wines. Last week, we put our first 2 wines into our tasting notebook. This week, I got 2 more. Also last week, I mentioned that I should probably get some better lighting. So, hopefully that's a little better. The book I'm using to take my notes is called 100 Wines, A Guide to Building Your Palate. It's a really great tool for people that are just getting into wine and trying to figure out what they like and why. It's not one of those textbooks that makes you memorize regions or anything like that. It's strictly for your own personal development. This week, I thought it might be kind of fun to do 2 Italian whites from 2 different places and see how they differ from one another. So, I've got Cantina Terlaner, Cuvee Terlaner, which is a white blend out of Alto Adige, and I've got Santa Maria La Palma Aragosta, which is a Vermentino from Sardinia. I think I'm going to start with the Vermentino. Sardinia is a little island in Italy, and you may have heard Dr. Oz try to convince people that if you drink wines from Sardinia, you'll live forever. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. I'm not dead yet, and I do like wines from Sardinia, so who knows? But this is a Vermentino, so light, crisp, refreshing style of wine. But before we get into what I expect, let's just open it up, take some notes. Wine number 3 out of 100. Wine name, I'll just write down Aragosta, grapes, Vermentino, vintage and region. This is a 2025. Going by the tasting method that's in the notebook that we did last time. So first we sniff, kind of like floral and fruity. Nothing too distinct. Now we'll see what it looks like. This is very pale, almost completely clear. Now I'll give it a swirl. And then we'll give it another sniff. Kind of the same as before, a little bit floral, kind of like white fleshy fruit. I wouldn't quite say like a peach or nectarine specifically. I'm just gonna write white fleshy fruit. But it's kind of in that family, peach, nectarine, stone fruit-ish, I guess. A little bit appley, lemony, but white fleshy kind of fruit. Nothing specific really that I'm getting out of it, which is fine. I think this is like a $10 bottle of wine, so I mean, I don't expect to be able to give you a list of 30 things. And then we sip. So right away, high acidity, really high acidity. Almost like a little bit nutty on the finish. Pretty short finish. Obviously, white wine, no tannin. Pretty well balanced. For the price point you find this wine in, it's solid. So a little bit of nuttiness on the finish. It's like a short-ish finish. Really high acidity. I would probably say like medium-ish alcohol. I don't think this is super hot. It's kind of just nice, refreshing. Beach wine kind of stuff, you know, if you're having like a, I don't know, shrimp cocktail, like a pre-dinner type of thing. Beach wine. It is a dry wine. I'm not getting any residual sugar in this whatsoever. I'd say like light to medium bodied. Let's see, this is a very simple wine. The only 2 aroma notes that I took down, I said floral and fruity, white fleshy fruit, maybe like white flowers. So very simple. There's not very complex. That being said, I don't think they were going for complex with this wine. I think it's meant to just be very easy to drink, very refreshing, very crisp, and that's exactly what they've done with it. My personal rating for it, honestly, I'd say 5 out of 5. Not because it's some crazy complex and very interesting wine, but because for what I expect out of a bottle like this, it is right on the nose, and I have nothing bad to say about it. Would I buy it again? Sure, yeah, I don't see why not. I'm going to the beach and I'm bringing a bottle of wine. This is definitely a candidate for it. So I did not expect to like this so much. I really think it's great for what it is, and yeah, I'm giving it 5 out of 5 rating. Nice little value here. Now we're going to turn the page over, go to wine number 4, which is Cuvee Terlaner from Cantina Terlaner. This is a blend of, I think, it says it right here, Pinot Bianco, Chardonnay, and Sauvignon Blanc. So I'm going to write that down right away just because I'm looking at it. They even break down the percentages here if you want to write that, which I do. This is, I just happen to know that this is a more serious producer from Alto Adige. Alto Adige, everyone knows that region for its Pinot Grigio, stuff like St. Michael Upon and Santa Margherita. These guys do make a Pinot Grigio too, though it's not what they're known for. They're known for more Pinot Bianco, and this blend specifically, I think, is one of their more, I guess, famous bottles. Not that that really matters for what we're doing right now. So let me write down Cuvee Terlaner, and vintage is 2024. Now, I know I got a corkscrew somewhere in my pocket. There it is. Open this bad boy up. I'm not fancy. I'm not cutting off the foil like a Somm. Yank it off, throw it away. Who cares? Pop that up. Pop that up. First, we sniff. Kind of muted, but I do kind of get some like breadiness or like lemon curd, lemon custard. So I'm gonna write that down. Bread, lemon, custard. So right off the bat, not quite as aromatic as that Vermentino was. We'll see how it goes from there. Let's take a look at the color. So this is definitely a more like a darker yellow than that Vermentino was. Medium what are we gonna call that? Medium yellow with a little bit like a green tinge to it. So now we'll give it a swirl. Definitely kind of opening up with some swirlage. I'm going to give it a little extra just to see how that affects us here. So now we're lemon for sure is there, a little green apple even, a little bit more of that like breadiness, which is kind of making me think this sees some time on the lees, which is dead yeast cells. Almost a little bit of like mintiness, something kind of like a sharp herb, if that makes any sense. So not super intense aromatics, but there is plenty going on. So we take our sip. Oh, wow. It's kind of like a salinity to it. And that's funny, that kind of peachiness that I was smelling, just kind of very faintly, that becomes the dominant fruit component here. And not like a overripe or candy peach. I mean like a really fresh, off the tree peach. Really, I like that a lot. Good texture, good weight, pretty high acidity. Not quite as much as that Vermentino, but it's up there. So we're at a dry wine. I'm going to say medium bodied, high acidity. No tannin, obviously, because we are a white wine. Finish is, I'm going to go long because I still taste it and it's been a good 30 seconds since I had it in my mouth. Yeah, I really like that a lot. It's interesting. You have all those components in there. You have that Chardonnay, that green apple kind of thing that I smell. You have that kind of peachy, but not sweet peach component, which I would attribute more to Pinot Bianco. And then Sauvignon Blanc. There definitely is some kind of like citrusy acidity to it, but all that acidity I feel like is coming from that 10% Sauvignon Blanc. This is a really tasty bottle of wine. Really tasty. So, rating, I'm going to go 5. Would I buy it again? I don't see why not. Yeah. I don't think I would want to drink this every day, just because I feel like I'd be fatigued with it. I would want this to be a little special. It's only like $30 or something like that, which is worth writing down in the notes. That way, when I'm looking back at my notes and I'm like, oh, I gave this wine 5 stars, I go, oh, it was $30. Yeah, like salted apple, peach. Tasty, tasty, tasty. What's up, dude? You want some? This is Black and White Cat. He also likes to taste wine. It's not true. He's getting impatient, so I'm going to wrap this up. So both of these wines, I really enjoyed them. Very, very different reasons, though. This because it is simple, refreshing, and just really tasty, something I would want to bring to the beach. That's why I gave it 5 stars, because it is exactly what it's meant to be, and it's not trying to be over the top or something kind of weird. And then Cuvee Terlaner is just beautiful stuff. Plenty of complexity on the nose, and then you take your sip, some salinity, some really mouth-watering acidity, good body, not crazy high alcohol, just really well-made stuff that is more complex and more interesting, that I absolutely would buy again for the right occasion. So both of these wines got 5 stars from me, and I would absolutely buy both of these wines again. Now, if I were rating these wines like a critic, it would be vastly different. I would probably give this a much higher score than I gave the Vermentino, but that's not what 100 Wines is for. This is for discovering what you like and why. So the 2 tasting notes that I just put in here and the 2 from last week, they're not meant to be X out of 100 James Suckling types of scores. They're just, how much did I enjoy that bottle of wine? Everybody's different, and that's why this notebook can really help you figure it out if you have 100 people telling you 100 different things about which wines are good. Anyway, that's wines 3 and 4 in the book, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time with 2 more, and we'll keep plugging away at it.